Hey, it's Kellen. And today, you guys, I have a special guest, and I know I look funny because Zoom wouldn't work for us. So my guest,
Man,
Elvis, he
yeah, what's
is
up? What's
back.
up?
He never went anywhere. Elvis is alive. You know,
I'm still
we had to
here.
go
Yeah.
yeah, we had to go Facebook
Uh,
Live. And the way that I know Elvis from,
mm,
he is the YouTuber Wode Maya's videographer, main
yeah,
videographer who travels the world with him. He also makes movies. He's going to tell us all
yeah.
about his journey. Welcome, Elvis, to Diversified Game. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I
Thank you
hear
so
you.
much.
I hear you. Just don't be shy, because you know these
Mhm.
connections. We're all gonna have to scream a little bit. But but
Okay, no
Elvis,
problem.
everybody probably
Yeah,
everybody in YouTube probably knows you, like, okay, you are Wode Maya's videographer, but I'm sure you were doing video
yeah, yeah,
production before you met Wode Maya, who
yes,
is the
yes,
nicest YouTuber,
yes, yes.
right? Um, how did you get
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
involved in videography?
How did I get into videography?
Yeah,
That's the question.
yes.
Yeah, so like I started videography long time ago. Even before I met Maya, even before I knew Maya, I was doing videography. Like I used to do like music videos, for people, for mostly upcoming artists. I used to do for them music videos, and then I said also to venture into, filming short films. Even right now, the other day I was filming an advertisement, for a company. You know, so the journey has been long when it comes to, videography. The journey has been very long.
Okay.
Mm.
So were you self-taught, or did you go to school for it?
Yeah, I self-taught myself. Like I
Uh-huh.
taught myself how to because I had my own, PC. So I used to watch like YouTube tutorials. In YouTube, there's so many tutorials you can, watch them and learn. You know, so I was learning from YouTube tutorials, downloading the apps. Adobe, Premiere Pro, After Effects. And then later on, I joined, a film school. I even used to do, some people's homework. Because I didn't know how to edit. So I used to, help them with their homework. Sometimes when it's time for exams, some people want to sit next to me, because, so that they can see how I'm editing my video. They can also copy. Yeah,
Okay, so you had a just
yeah,
you just had a natural talent and gift.
yes, yes,
And
yes, yes.
I didn't I appreciate you coming on, because I didn't even talk to you about like anything. I was like, hey, would you talk about, you know, just what you
Hmm.
do? But Diversified Game is all
Yeah,
about the business of,
yeah,
to inspire somebody else. But
yeah,
the way I found out about you were
uh-huh.
through other YouTubers. I represent other YouTubers. And
Okay,
so,
okay.
so like
Uh,
you, people know
uh-huh,
me.
uh-huh,
They say, like, if they know me just for representing YouTubers, it's always like the African Diaspora News Channel, or
uh-huh,
with Phil Scott, or they'll say,
uh-huh.
"Hey, how's Lovely
Mm.
T?" or "How's Dr. Mumbe?" And people just
Oh, yeah,
throw out
yeah.
names wherever they know you from, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
or African Tigress, and
Yeah,
and
I'm,
so
I'm going to meet African Tigress this week. I'm going to meet her this week. We're going to film
okay,
something with African. Yeah, yeah,
and we all got to know each other, and because,
yeah.
like, the reason why people will pay
Mm.
me is to get them organized, and so they can learn and make more money, right? But a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah.
YouTubers, they learn that the
Mhm,
hard way. I've
mhm.
seen YouTubers have $50,000 worth of emails, but they didn't know how to respond to the brands.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah,
So they need the talent, and they need talent like yours, because most YouTubers start just doing it by themselves. But when you go to the
yeah.
next level, you need a
Mhm.
professional like yourself who can, one, shoot and edit, and also be a good person to travel with, that's not going to be a
Yeah,
headache, and be
yeah,
full
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
ego. How,
yeah, yeah. That's
how did you first start working with Wode Maya? Because that will be the question. People say, how did you guys begin?
Yeah, okay. So, I'm one of Wode Maya's first 100 subscribers. I used to watch his vlogs, his videos back in China, when he started. So I started watching him from long time ago. After that, he used to put his Facebook link and Instagram. So I texted him on Facebook, and I told him like, bro, I really love your videos. Also like how he was speaking Chinese. I was so fascinated. A black man is speaking Chinese. So it was very, very interesting. To watch the videos. So I started talking to him every time, when he uploads a video, I give him my feedback about the video. And then when he came to Kenya, the first time when he came to Kenya, I filmed for him a video, about, about food in Kenya. And he liked the video, because the editing was very grading, sound, everything was perfect. Uh, so, uh, So he went and then came back again. And then he told me that, he will start traveling. He texted me on Facebook. He told me that we start traveling, around Africa. He has this new project called Africa to the World. And he asked me to join him on the journey. And I accepted the journey. And then we started traveling from Senegal. Hello?
Okay, so it was really just he had a need, you provided the need, you did a good job, and you
Yes,
guys
yes.
have been rocking since.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And,
Due
and
to,
that's
uh
yeah, that's how
yeah,
real like bonds and friendships start, because it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah, yeah,
probably even about the money. He probably wasn't paying you what
yeah.
he's paying you now.
Mm-hmm.
But you gradually, you
Yeah,
kept working because you travel.
yeah.
I mean, how many countries have you guys been to with?
Okay, for me and Wadamaya, we have been, I think, to almost 20 countries, if I'm not wrong, almost 20 countries. But due to lockdown, everyone had to go back to their countries. But hopefully, when the
Yeah.
lockdown is over, we will continue showing the beautiful, Africa and the beautiful motherland.
The African diaspora
Mm.
themselves had 3 trips planned to Africa, and
Uh-huh.
last year we brought 30 people to Kenya, to
Mm.
Nairobi and
Wow, wow,
Mombasa.
wow.
And
Mm.
I mean, these were Americans and British people. There's a British guy. I mean, people were
Uh-huh.
like, just in
Mm.
tears and awe. And and people want to keep going to Africa. So, Africa is the future. It's the now, really, if you've been.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Africa is the future.
Y-
Africa is the future. Africa
Yeah,
is the
yeah, I'm
promised
saying it's
land.
the now. It's the now and the future, because if you're there
Yeah,
now, it's
mm,
great, and it
yeah,
just we took that trip because a year
yeah.
prior we went to Ethiopia. Um, I had been to
Oh,
Africa.
wow, nice.
Africa is home, to me. And I have been to, South Africa many moons ago, and Cameroon. That's where my wife is
Mm.
from. So,
Oh, wow,
it,
wow, nice.
yeah, so I love Africa. I love investing, African investments and all that.
Yeah.
But how is, videography in Kenya where you live? Because, most people would try to go work with like a big TV station, or some type of TV show or movies. Um, what are the differences, money wise? Because we like to talk money, Elvis.
Yeah,
From
yeah, yeah,
working
yeah, yeah.
from YouTubers to working with TV. Like, how does that work?
Okay, first of all, there's this Kenyan celebrity who acts in a TV station. He's also a follower of Wode Maya. Like he always watch the videos. So he texted me on Instagram and he told me like, when you're coming back to Kenya, I want to work with you. So I don't know how to put it. So he came he told me we meet, we met, and then we talked about how we can start working together, writing scripts because he's a very nice and big celebrity in Kenya. He works in a TV station, acts in a TV station. So even right now, we are shooting an advertisement together. So money wise, like it. Okay, it depends on your skills. Let me say that money wise, it depends on your skills. No, because my skills. When people watch me, like people always text me like they want to work with me. But it comes when it comes to money, it depends on your skills.
Okay, okay. And so
Yeah.
you're sought after. That means during this COVID time,
Hmm. Hmm.
TV, at least in America, hasn't stopped. Are you able to pick
Yeah.
up work during the lockdown?
Okay, right. Okay, okay, okay. For me, like I still go outside. I still go to film and all that. But in Kenya right now, like so many people who work in the TV station, mostly news anchors, they have lost their jobs because of this COVID-19. If you have your own equipments, you can make your own money even without getting employed, and you can even make more money here in Kenya than someone who is working for a TV station or a company. As long as you have your own equipment. Even some people they don't go to film, but they hire their equipment, they hire their cameras, their lights, sound, and everything, and that's how they make money.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
can make more money independently.
yes, yes, yes. Like if you know how the market works, when it comes to the entertainment industry, and if you know how to target your audience, you can make lots of money. Because I know people who they have very nice cameras, but they're not making money out of it because they don't know how to start or they don't know how to do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think that's a course in itself. I
yeah.
they call me the professor of PR because
Uh-huh.
what
Uh,
public relations and consulting is, I can teach it. I've done it so long. This isn't difficult, I'm sure you
yeah.
saw that in class. I bet you had a
Mhm.
professor that you probably taught them some tricks because you knew the
Yeah, yeah,
technology
yeah.
more.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love people like that because that's how my mind thought. I got to have my a professor when I did graduate school. He said, "Hey, will you
Mm.
teach this website design class? Because I don't even know how to build a website." And there were some
Mm.
other classes I taught for some other professors because I really live and breathe this. This is like I'm a walking billboard. It's what I do. So I,
Yeah.
I love to hear stories like that. Now, do you have any online courses that you are gonna create or have created already?
Okay, online. Okay, I once thought about online classes, but I think it's a very nice idea. I can try to do some tutorials, teaching people, or also people can be paying me. I teach them online. It's a very good idea, and like I'm still thinking about it.
Okay. Because we're
Yeah,
behind the scenes people that folks don't really know, like how, what behind the scenes, how powerful it is. You can't
yeah,
be a big, YouTuber or even a Will Smith without a team behind you. And, you know, people like us are usually paid well enough where we don't have to go look for work. It comes to you. So you're
yeah,
not begging to build anybody up. Like you need to come, you need to pay what the rate is. There, we don't need
yes,
to
yes,
negotiate because this is like,
yeah, yeah,
this is like, the quality brands right here. Either you can afford it or you
yeah, yeah,
can't, and
yeah.
it's a great place to be in. Um, and if you, I know earlier you had said, "Oh, I don't know how to say this." If you don't know how to say it in English, Alona Kawa Kiswahili. Say it in
You speak,
Swahili.
you speak, you speak in Swahili.
No,
Eh? You speak
no,
Swahili.
no,
Yeah,
no. But I gotta practice. Every day. That's why
yeah,
when
yeah,
every day I
yes,
gotta practice because you can't be in Kenya and not know at least the basics. It's
yeah, yeah,
easy and it's very it's very similar to Spanish. Some words are, the same, and we are
Yeah,
highly
yeah, that's true.
exposed to
That's
Spanish on our side.
yeah.
So,
Uh,
you know, uh, practicar mi español. Also, we got to get it. Tell me,
yeah.
with how you're moving with Wode Maya, and you guys, everybody has seen, who watches has seen the issues. They think a lot of times, you guys get arrested for fun. I've heard other YouTubers tell me that, oh, they like to get arrested. And I'm like, I highly doubt, because we had that situation in Ethiopia. We just didn't
Uh,
share it publicly. Um, but,
mhm.
that there was a little situation in a part of Ethiopia that money doesn't do anything. But we had
Uh,
people we could call, to clear whatever the issue was, because we were just traveling, and it was just
mm.
one of those things. But can you tell this audience?
Mhm.
Do people get arrested? Is that part of the plan, to get arrested in every country you go to?
No, 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 it's not. It's never part of the plan, because who would want to be arrested, Who would even wish to be arrested and be in prison? So it is never part of the plan. Let me just say it's, one of those bad days, where you are caught up with the government. Because different countries have their own different rules, because some countries you go to, you can film freely, nobody will disturb you. But some countries you go there, when you start filming or flying the drone, the police, they will just come there immediately and arrest you, because some parts of Africa, you know, they're affected by terrorism. Understand? Terrorism and theft. So they have to, make sure that the security is very tight. So some countries is very hard. But if you have the appropriate papers, then there's no problem. You can still shoot if you have the papers. But sometimes it's not necessary to have the papers, because the police will arrest you, and at the end of the day, they'll just ask you for money. If you give them money, they'll just let you go and continue doing your own thing.
But if you have the papers, now you're on the continent, and I'll tell you,
Uh-huh.
Kenya
Yeah,
is developing, for all the people who don't know. So it's not third
yeah,
world; it's a developing
yeah.
country. But
Hmm.
even to, right now, drones aren't allowed. We were able to fly drones, and then I heard shortly after they even cracked down in Mombasa. But we had, the people in the property. They're like, do whatever you want to do. But in Nairobi, oh man,
Hmm.
we were staying at the we were
Mm.
staying at the what's the fancy hotel in the Westlands? Um, where all
Kempinski?
the Kempinski. Yeah, we were at the
Yeah,
Kempinski.
yeah, Kempinski. Uh-huh.
And our camera guy, he even put the camera outside on the balcony. And when we were leaving,
Oh,
we had
uh,
security, hey, what's
in,
going on? And he wasn't
you
the
know,
biggest fan. Huh.
uh,
Go ahead.
but sometimes okay. If you want to film, sometimes it depends on which part of the country you are. Because in some countries, maybe there are politicians who stay there, or well-known people. So most of them they always want their own privacy. Because when they see the camera, like Kempinski, Kempinski, so many people, even foreign politicians who come into the country, when they come there, that's where they stay. So that's why you see like such places, security is very tight. It's very tight.
Yeah, and it did help that he
Yeah.
put it on the tripod. It's not like he even tried to cover it up. So he was trying to get his
Yeah.
time lapses.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I said that, you're like, oh no. you,
Uh,
as an Americans, as foreigners, you're not even thinking about, like, oh, all the politicians and who they may be bringing, who they may not want to be seen with. You understand?
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
could you
Yeah.
imagine if he would have captured somebody and they had their girlfriend with them? And
Yeah, that's true. Even yeah, yeah. Even also that is true, because some people, this. some people they cheat, they cheat. They have their own girlfriends, so they take them to these big hotels like a Bisky, So sometimes someone fears maybe their wife has sent a spy, to take a video of them or a camera, photograph.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Oh, that would be an awesome show for a
yes, yes,
foreigner to do. I because you got to live in Kenya. Um,
yes.
no, that's crazy. Let me ask you, with
Mm-hmm.
videography, are you
Mm.
into also the creation of shows? Like, do you ever write shows and say, I think this would be a good show?
Yes, sometimes I always write scripts, but most of them is like short film scripts.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sometimes I also, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now, have you've done shorts? Have you ever done a full feature yet?
Not yet, not yet. But I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What is stopping you? I'm just curious. I'm all the way nosy.
Okay. First of all, you need equipment. First
Mm,
of all, you need equipment because a show needs very nice equipment. If it's those what do you call I've forgotten the name. Stabilizers, stabilizers, nice cameras, quality cameras for the show. But once you have all those equipments, then nothing can stop you. You can start your own show, start your own YouTube channel and upload your shows there, or you can film episodes. Then you can sell it on TV, sell it on TV stations. Some of them they will accept. If your show is nice, then obviously they accept and you'll make money.
the beauty of platforms like YouTube is you can take your
Mm.
phone. I've heard Miss Trudy. She just has her phone and she does stuff, and most people wouldn't even know because you can put it together. And we've even seen folks make whole movies on iPhones. I really want to
Mhm.
challenge everybody out there. Don't try to wait to get the perfect equipment because you don't know
Yes.
when your last day is. If it's in your brain, put it out there. And,
Even
and
yeah, even me, I always
you
film with my phone. I always film with my phone. You know,
really
yeah, yeah. I always film.
okay.
If you check my YouTube channel, yeah, I always film just with my. I don't use camera. Uh, the only person in the squad who uses camera is Wode Maya. But for me and Trudy, we always use I always use my phone. My phone has a very nice
Okay.
camera, very nice quality, very nice quality.
That no, I love to hear that. I had I don't know if you know any Cameroonian music artists, if you follow what's happened on the West Coast. But I had Dr. Nkang Stevens on the show. And he does
Mm.
everything from all the biggest Cameroonian artists and beyond. I don't know if you've seen his stuff. Um, and
Not
I thought
not
he
not
was
yet,
shooting
not
on
yet.
a red.
But he was using his phone.
Well, no, he has equipment, but he said
Uh-huh.
it's not about the equipment. He's like, if it's how in post, how you make it look. Do you know who I'm talking about? Have you
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
seen his work?
No, no, not yet, not yet. I'll
Okay,
go and
I'll
search.
send you. I'll send you some of his work, like
Okay.
the Stanley Anos and the Blanche Baileys and Cameroon. He does all their everybody's stuff. He's done over, if I'm correct, over 1,000
Mhm.
videos, and he's
Oh,
from
wow. Wow.
Cameroon and he's traveled all through Africa. They have
Mhm.
sometimes they have the big jets, sometimes they're in the village, but he says
Mm.
it's not about the equipment. It's just about, the vision and putting it together. And he has some short films too. And in a country
Also,
like
the
Cameroon, Paul Biya, the president, if he's even in the country, he can cut the internet at any time. He's cut it before. So
a dictator president.
he calls it advanced democracy.
Yes, yes, yes. They want
Yeah.
to make people's intelligence low. They want to maintain that their poverty rate and the intelligence. But that's how they control the people sometimes. Also, you see some places, it's very hard, to develop, even in school. people are just taught how
Mhm.
to, to get a job, like here we're just being taught, you know what, you will go to school, graduate, after that, you go look for a job, you know. That's why you see some people are still suffering because people are not being taught how to be CEOs, how to start their own companies, how to be independent.
But I'm gonna say this about that. We're men,
Hmm.
right? We're
Yes, yes,
creative. We know
yeah,
how we want to live our lives, so we think at this point, this
yeah,
millennial generation, we gotta be bosses and we have to
yeah,
tell everybody else. We gotta boss up. Like I'm gonna do what I want to do because I can make it because my way. You don't know the way is what I tell, some of the older generation and people who say, "Hey, and it's only black people. You can't come in with hair like this. You got to cut your hair. And you can't come in with the shades." And I'm like, I can come in any way I want. And I can show
yeah.
you how to make money off this technology. So,
Mm.
be quiet. Cállate la boca in
Oh, sorry,
Spanish.
sorry.
Oh, no, 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 no worries. But we,
Hmm.
we, we have to read books. I try to read a book a week just because of what I did not learn in all my fancy education,
Hmm.
because they don't teach you
Yeah,
about
yeah.
business. And even in
They
business
don't. They
school,
really
they don't
don't.
teach you. Yeah, that they're not going to teach you that because then you'd be independent. College and school is there for you to go train you to work a job and wake up at this time and wake up at that time. But as an entrepreneur, you got to be awoke all the time or you're going to miss out.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Like you really
So
need to keep going.
yeah. So let me
Yeah.
let me ask you, do
Hmm.
you have a team of people or are you kind of an army of one? Do you have other people who can hold cameras for you when you're working and traveling?
No, no, no. Like I record the videos, and when you
Hmm.
go back in the house, I still edit the videos. So like
Okay.
I'm skilled in both parts. I can play both roles, both filming and editing, cinematography. Yeah.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna be talking to you, talking
Hmm.
about you,
Hmm.
not just to Phil, but
Hmm.
to Brother Sharif, who is our videographer, and
Okay.
we hope to be in back in Kenya in
Hmm.
December if we are allowed. Americans right now are toxic because
Hey, 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 what is happening in America is crazy, crazy, crazy.
yeah, it
America is
shows
on
our
fire.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It
yeah.
shows the ignorance. The person who didn't even
Yes,
go to
yes.
school knows more than the doctor in America.
Hey. Crazy, crazy,
So
crazy.
t- t-
Yeah.
tell me, with your success though, what
Mm-hmm.
is your like community give back? Something that you do, are doing for the community. It could be
Hmm.
inspiring the next generation. It could be giving money, time. What is your community give back?
First of all, like I always teach people, how to, because so many people always come to me like, hey, I want you to teach me how to film. Even some Kenyan YouTubers, they always come and ask me if I can teach them how to edit. Because some of them they're vlogging, but but the technique is not that good, in terms of when it comes to taking the right shots, cinematography. So I always, just teach them, and I don't ask them to pay me anything. I just teach them some basics. And as time goes by, when they go back and start doing their own videos, you see their skills improving, you know. So that is one way I give out to the community.
Awesome. And
Yes,
that's
yes.
needed to give that skill that they can't even get in school. I have a question about, you have your own
Mhm,
YouTube. I have my own YouTube. I have had my own
mhm,
YouTube maybe even
mhm,
longer than all of my clients because I like technology, but I'm not
mhm,
known as a YouTuber. And I had a radio
mhm,
show, before YouTube was
mhm,
even invented, and
mhm,
people might not know you as that, right? But
mhm,
people sometimes they'll push back to me and they'll say, oh, you just want to, you'd love to be as famous as your clients. And I'm like, I don't know if that's true because I don't know if I want to be recognized like my clients are recognized when they go, you know,
Mhm.
and I
Yeah.
know, you know, my clients don't claim to be famous, but I know and can be around real famous people. And it's really
Yeah.
not like comfortable when everyone's coming up to you because you don't know if they're crazy. Do you ever get
Mhm.
that feeling of, oh, I could be as big as this person, or would you even want that in your real life?
I never have such, such feeling because I think that's a very selfish feeling, because you cannot think that you want to be, bigger than someone because I believe that each and every one of us has their own destiny, your success can be very different from my success and my success can be very different uh, with their success, right? So each and
Mm-hmm.
every person like has their own path, their own way, of their own life, because you and I we cannot have the same life. You can be successful. You can be well known internationally, and I can be just well known nationally. You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
it's different, Yeah. So that feeling, I think, is a very selfish feeling, because it's not
Okay.
right when you compare yourself to others. Yeah.
Y- Okay. No, I like
Mhm.
that. Let's and I just want to know because, you know, the scriptures talk about your gift will make room for you. And when I started to do this, all I
Mhm.
asked is for what I am great at, let me do. And what I do
Mhm.
for my clients, they are appreciative, not just in the money they give me, but you know, the things that they tell me, privately, especially. Like I don't need a big trophy, right? And everybody
Mhm.
wants to be acknowledged. What do you do to like humble yourself because people are coming up to you, oh, you know, you're Wode Maya, and Wode Maya seems to be the friendliest
Yeah,
YouTuber.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
he
so
just,
many,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so like so many people always contact me, I know you are Wode Maya's editor. When you come to my country, I want you to, also to teach me how to do, videography and all that. And also, like I do videography as my passion, as my passion because I self-taught myself even before I started going to school, studying for it. So I do it as a professional. So when people text me, I just humble myself, just just talk to them in a nice way, in a positive way. Some of them I've met them, I've taught them, and they if right now you see the videos are improving, day by day because uh, it's not right, to be selfish,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
if people come to me, they know Wode Maya and they know that I'm Wode Maya's editor. If they come to me and maybe I send them away or treat them in a negative way, then it will bring a bad name, to the whole crew. People will think that we are like this and they're not like that.
No,
Yeah.
I definitely get that. It's but
Yeah.
there's also people I'm sure who come up to you and because they know you're connected to Walter Maya, expect you
Hmm.
to deliver messages to him and requests to him. And
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
how do
yeah,
you deal with
yeah.
that?
Okay, some people always send me requests, and some of the requests it's hard for me, because some requests they have to go to Wode Maya personally, and tell them, because some people like ask very hard requests, and but I always tell Wode Maya, and he tells me what he thinks about it, and I just send the message back.
Okay. And and
Yeah.
see, when I get those requests, my job is a business manager. So any
Hmm.
business or interviews, you know, 99.9% of them that have been
Hmm.
put out, at least on the African Diaspora channel, that is my job to take those requests. And the
Hmm.
requests that I will sometimes shift off to the studio are news stories because I don't conduct I'm not in charge of what news is done. Interviews
Yeah.
and money and keeping it organized because a lot of I find a lot of YouTubers and a lot of black business people are just not, young black business people are not organized,
Yeah,
and when
yeah,
you let
yeah.
those emails build up, people will be like, what's going on? I still get emails from past YouTubers I've worked with, and they're like,
Mhm.
this person isn't responding. That's not my job right now. They're not
Yeah,
paying me, but I do always forward those emails. But some people, some folks are divas, or they just aren't business people. They got lucky on YouTube, or people like
yeah.
them, right? But they're not necessarily business. And so I
Yeah,
never want my clients that we're currently always working with to ever be known as not being business people. So that's my job, is to keep them organized, and I'm paid well
yeah.
to do that.
Mhm.
You
Mm.
and I have to go above and beyond. Sometimes I have to hold a camera when we're traveling. And I think I'm a videographer, but as you see when
Mhm.
I go live, anything that I do here, I can't get this
Mhm.
camera to get right. I think this is more technology. I'm not a camera
Yeah.
guy. And then even when I
Mhm.
edit, I'm not an editor. So you're a very humble person like Wode Maya.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say it because
Mhm.
because I hear everything that happens on these YouTube streets. People tell
Yeah,
me
yeah.
this. There's people in
Mhm.
YouTube who they act like they're friends of shows just so they can go to other shows and tell this person that. And they come from every country you can think of, and we have snakes. And so I have to know how to deal with snakes and say, are you telling me
Yeah,
this to make this person look bad? To,
yeah, yeah.
so, but what I do want to see, Elvis, and it's going to
Mhm.
probably take us people behind the scenes. I want to
Mhm.
see all the black YouTubers that really push Africa in a positive light, that aren't there to
Mhm.
be colonizers, because we do have,
Mhm.
and mostly Americans that I know who go to Africa to try to colonize. They think they're smarter than Africans. They think they can show Africans how to do this and that, while they don't even have a home in America. They don't even have a real business. They don't even pay their taxes in America, but they want to come show Africa, this and that. I want to show the people
Mhm.
who are really for Africa. Like, I want to do a conference, like a meet and greet, where everybody can
Mhm.
shake hands and there's not this division, because we're pushing
Yeah.
unity, but the YouTubers have to show that unity. And some are better than others for various
Mhm.
reasons.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, I mean, do you think there's something that could be done? We did something very small when we were in Nairobi. I know
Mhm.
Wode Maya because I had hit him at the time on, WhatsApp and Facebook. You guys weren't even in the country while we were there.
Mhm.
But you know, do you think that is something that could be done, or am I just kind of dreaming?
Pardon?
Do you think that's something that could be done, like getting, 10 to 20 YouTubers that promote Africa all in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same place?
That is very possible, and I think that would be very, it would be a very nice thing because once they're together, they can also share ideas, on how they can promote our beautiful continent, our beautiful countries, in a positive way. Because I believe like everyone has their own ideas, and if we share our ideas together as African YouTubers, help each other, boost each other, it would be a very good thing, because I'm
Okay.
sure that so many African YouTubers they don't know each other. Even me, I know there's some African YouTubers who I still don't know, and it would be a very good thing, when we know each other.
Yes, and I was told this by various people in various countries. Sometimes there are some huge African YouTubers, and Wode Maya is excluded from this because I've never
Mhm.
heard this from him. So I want to make sure I'm clear so people don't say, "Oh,
Mhm.
you're talking about him." But there's some huge, million plus
Mhm.
YouTubers that people say from their countries. they'll never contact me. I'm too small. You know, their head is too big. And those aren't the people I necessarily want to connect, because if you're
Mhm.
too big for the small people, at any time YouTube could turn off their lights like this. My clients have a plan A through Z. They'll still make their money. They'll still be in
Yeah,
a healthy place where they won't have to work because there's a
yeah,
contingency plan. But those $1 million YouTubers who there's no money on YouTube, and then their brand deals die because they're not as
mhm.
motivated, nah, they won't be there, and they'll be a regular person again, thinking how they're going to get their money. So, again, I want to connect with those who we love each other.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
was very
so
great. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So next time we are when we know we can go to Kenya and they won't try to do a 2 week
Mhm.
quarantine on us,
Mhm.
since Americans are toxic.
They'll put you on government facility. When I came back from Mozambique to Kenya, when everyone was going back to their countries, that was the time when we heard about, the COVID-19 and all that. So when I came back to Kenya, in the
Mhm.
airport, they asked me for my details. I put my email address, my phone number there, and they gave them, and they told me like when I go back home, I stay at home for 14 days. I came to the house. I stayed for 14 days. And then when the 14 days were over, I said, let me go outside. Because I miss the sun. I love sitting at the sun on midday. So when I went outside, like for let me say 10 minutes. I just went for 10 minutes. When I came back, the government called me at the Ministry of Health, the Kenyan Ministry of Health. They called me and they told me, we are bringing some police and some doctors to pick you up because you are not supposed to go outside. But I told them that you told me to stay for 14 days in my room. I stayed for 14 days. I never went outside. And when the 14 days were over, I said to go outside, and now you're coming to arrest me. It doesn't make sense.
Wait,
So
wait, wait,
yeah,
wait. How did they
yeah.
know you were outside?
They were tracking me through my phone. My phone. I gave them my details, my phone number. So they were tracking my
Whoa.
movement with my phone.
Okay.
It,
Wow. I've never heard that.
yes, yes, yes.
I did not know, because we're very laxed here, but I know
Uh-huh.
these phones track us, but I did not know that Kenya was set up to say, like, for every person who leaves. How far did you get out
Uh-huh.
of your house?
It was not even far. Like I just went like behind the house, just sitting behind the house, just you
What?
know, taking the sun, just sitting on the side, just behind the house. And when I got back home, the Minister of Health called me. They saying that they're bringing some police officers and some doctors to pick me up and put me in a government facility. So I took them for 20 hours. I mean, sorry, 20 minutes, just talking to them, back and forth. At first they were so, they're so mad. That's me. Why did you go outside? Because they're saying that people who have traveled into the country, they're highly at risk. They might,
Hmm.
because most of the disease is imported here. Most
Yeah.
people who have the disease here, they came into the country. So the government, they watch very closely to those people who came into the country. So I didn't know that they will call me and react that way because I thought when the 14 days are over, now I'm free, I can do anything I want.
Elvis,
That made me to stay for 3 months in the house without going outside for 3 good months.
Elvis, we got to
Ah.
do a documentary on how Kenya was tracking, because they were very thorough. And where people think, oh, Africa, they're slow. Africa, you can just pay. You don't have, I hear people saying, I can just pay to get in. They knew when you
No, no, no,
left.
no. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Even some people here in the country, some of them they're put into the government facility and then they break
Hmm.
out, they run away. But the police, the government, they track them just using their phone. They don't need to call you, they don't need to ask anyone about you. And also, before the old-fashioned way, how people used to be tracked in Kenya, yeah, the old-fashioned way, because they use their ID, your ID says, where your home is, like not home in town, but home in the village, In the village is where, people have, like your great grandparents have lived there. So they have that name, that name, your name where you live, and also your name, your traditional name. You understand?
Yeah.
Also, your traditional name can say where you're coming from, which part of Kenya you're coming from. They can know. Let me say, if your name is James, they will know that people who are called James are always in this part of the country. So when they go there, where you're born, they will ask the people who are there, like, want to know where James village is, or maybe they talk to the chief, because all the villages they have the chief. They go and talk to the chief, and the chief will know. If they just say your name, they will know where you live. Your family name.
El-
When they say
El-
your family name, they
Elvis,
will know which. Yeah.
documentary. If you need any help with it, I mean, this would show how
Yeah.
Kenya is so far advanced and ready for most people would never even
Yeah.
think that that would happen if you just go into your backyard. You let me know whatever part I can play. I love to play,
Mhm.
and you'd have to like get the research and let them like the filming just to what that control space looks like. I would
Yeah. Yeah.
love to see that because I
Yeah.
kind of know what it looks like here
Mhm.
through like police stations, where they have all the cameras and everywhere. But
Mhm.
that is something where that's a documentary. Netflix. I'm big into like trying to push things and sell
Mhm.
movies, whatnot, and I'm a baby
Mhm.
in it. But my
Mhm.
elders and I learn and I go to the conferences, and I just went to a conference in Miami a few months ago and met some of the big people. I got to meet Byron Allen, which that was a beautiful thing because he sparked something in a conversation. But there's
Mhm.
so many people, but I'd love to like be a part of that documentary if that ever interests you, because that's crazy. And America could do that, but they're not doing it, and that's why we have the problems we're having.
I think that would be a very nice idea, security, Africa's security intelligence, because Kenya security intelligence was ranked one of the best in Africa. So I think it would be a very nice documentary about the
Now, so
security
did they
intelligence.
come arrest you or did they let you go?
I talked to them and we resolved, the problem before they reached here. I resolved the problem. I told them like I never went far. I never went to meet people and all that. And they checked because I left my details there. And they saw when they took my temperature at the airport, they saw it was okay. So they decided, they told me like next time when I go outside, I should carry my sanitizer, my mask, and also wear some gloves. Yeah, but it was so crazy. Right now I'll be in the government facility,
If
and
you if you did get arrested there though, Elvis, I think it would be
Mhm.
true again and say that Wode Maya team, they like to get arrested. They do things to get
No, 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 no. I think maybe the police just loves the police loves us. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I
yeah,
love the police. I love the police in certain countries because
Mhm.
it's very cheap to get the problem erased,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
but sometimes when I hear what you guys pay, I'm like, you guys get charged more than an American, to get out of an issue.
Really?
It doesn't make sense.
Uh, yeah, 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 yeah. Cash bail here is so high, very high.
Yeah, well, and I think the
Yeah.
thing is, see, we get what we would call detained. Our
Mm-hmm.
arrest here is you're in handcuffs, you get fingerprinted.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get detained, but you can get detained on the street in Africa, in different countries,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just you can pay your way
Yeah.
out. But that again, that's not true for Ethiopia in Mekelle, especially the Tigray region, going to Axum. That's not true. So I found out the hard way. And it will never
Yeah.
happen again. Um,
Yeah.
but no, I wanna give the people just a taste of what it is to be behind the scenes, to be working with people. I mean, I could do this
Mhm.
with you all day, but I don't want to give them a game overload because they'll say, "What did they say?" I really want them to take what we've said and how you got started and figure
Mhm.
out how they can get started because it really only takes one. It takes
Mhm.
one for you to go to the next level.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I definitely, you guys are on your way to even greater things.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know, to greater things. And so I appreciate you for giving me this time, and we can always talk off air. Never hesitate. We're gonna stay connected because
Yeah.
through our connections, we're gonna inspire others to,
Yeah.
go greater and greater in the next generation. Because it's not about us; it's about who we can put on and hire and create their business.
Yeah.
All right, brother. You be blessed.
Mhm.
We'll talk again shortly. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be
Thank you
hitting
so
you up.
much for having me on your podcast.
Oh man, anytime.